Hello, welcome back to our podcast, Health Unscripted, on your path to vitality. Today, we have Mr. Anil Grover with us, and we're going to talk about why conventional tests miss early dysfunction. And from a functional medicine perspective, we are going to deep dive into this particular thing. I am Dr. Mridula Gupta. Uh, right now, researching on neurodegenerative disorders. And since I have immunology background, I understand these things that we need to deep dive into such things. So let's explore with Mr. Anil Grover about the biochemical and metabolic pathways of our body and how conventional tests often we miss something early going on in our body.
Thank you, Mridula. So I am functional medicine health coach, and so many people come to me with chronic symptoms, like tiredness or intestine, stomach, such kind of gut issues, let's say. And they have done their tests and all, which are wonderful. Conventional tests are great, but the problems are still there. So the tests are great, wonderful, they're doing, but the problems are still there. So something is being missed out. So
Right.
there are lots of functional tests out in the market nowadays, and as a health coach, I just educate them. I don't diagnose or treat anything. That's not my job. But education, empowering them, what's happening in the market. So these tests can let us know inside at a cellular level where everything's happening inside the cell. Nutrition, absorption, detoxification. Each cell also has to detoxify, make energy. So all that is shown very clearly. So if something is happening at that level, because often the symptoms or disease, which they will come to know later on, when that has gone bad for many years. But at the onset, what's happening, that these tests pick up, and there we can guide them. I can guide them through lifestyle, through what should be eaten, what is not good for health. So just educate and treat them there.
Okay, cool. That sounds good. So just to clarify, so what I understand from my experience and my understanding of science, that these kind of dysfunctions in our body, these don't happen overnight or during a stage of disease. They happen like they build up basically in 15 years or 10 years, right? So by the time conventional lab markers change, the underlying dysfunctions may have present for years. So how we can talk about that, like how we can address those things.
Yeah, that's where these tests, they pinpoint or show very clearly instead of just guessing. We can often just guess, and so many times I've seen when we are educating, when I'm empowering them, I may have guessed wrong also. So that's why I like to go with these tests nowadays. It saves time of the person, and
Right.
it builds faith when the person sees what's happening. Both ways. Time and money is saved. For example, let's take an example. For example, vitamin B12 is an important vitamin, having various functions like energy, nerve protection. So often they come and they say that it's usually tested, and they say that it shows in a very good range. So in the organic acid test, one of the functional tests, which shows the utilization of B12 inside the cell, is it happening or not? A blood test will pick up B12 molecule from the blood and says inadequate or not. But inside the cell, a different thing is tested, a different molecule. A molecule known as methylmalonic acid. If that is in excess, means it's been built up, and B12 has not been used inside the cell, and B12 has a lot of important functions. So one can come to know much deeper beforehand what's happening, before those symptoms get worse, because B12 helps to convert fatty acids and proteins into energy in the mitochondria, in the place where energy is made. And if methylmalonic acid builds up, that can damage the nerves. So indirectly,
Yeah.
nerve protection through B12 means that methylmalonic acid must be converted and utilized. So that's how with different markers we come to know upstream what's happening in the cell before it shows up outside in the normal conventional markers. Just give
Yes,
one
this
example.
means, yeah, so this is just one example, and I can see how we can mislead ourselves by just the numbers which are just showing up in the blood.
Yes.
It's just not, yeah, oh, numbers are good means I am not a deficient person in any particular vitamin or nutrient, right? And the whatever like the thing is going on, but it means it's vice versa, like cells are not utilizing your vitamin, and it means you should be looking for some metabolites downstream processing for it. Is it so?
So it could. So then they can go to the medical system and find out that is there something maybe genetic, or maybe it's not being absorbed enough into it, or maybe they did the test and that time they were just having some supplements of B12, so it will show up. It will
Okay.
show up. It will be picked up
So it's
immediately.
just a snapshot. It's not telling
So it
actual
could be a
undergoing thing.
deficiency or not being absorbed, or why is it not
Mm-hmm.
entering or doing its work
Mm-hmm.
to get its work done in the mitochondria. So one can look into, and then listen, anything in the body is not isolated. Everything is interconnected. So these, like for example, the
Right,
organic acid
right.
test will let us know about B12 also has a role in methylation, a very important biochemical process happening in all the cells in millions times in a second it will be happening, and which takes care of B12 is involved over there. Also, it will take care of my neuropeptides, my moods, my uh, genetic integrity. So everything is interconnected. We just can't look at one marker. It's everything. So when we see something is not going okay, then we can start holistically looking at the whole picture.
What are the other type of nutrients which are like floating in blood and we get snapshot of it apart from B12 if you would like to educate our
There are
audience?
so many. There are millions of things floating around. But let's take something which concerns everyone: blood sugar,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
maybe the person feels that he's lacking energy, and he's taking care of his diet. He's not having high insulin responsive foods, or foods high in sugar. But and the markers are coming okay. So now what happens through the blood? Fasting glucose is checked, one thing, and 3 months glycated hemoglobin, which gives us a picture of 3 months of his his or her use of glucose. But glucose is used for energy production, and energy is made in the mitochondria, and it has 3 different phases. So one has to, this now gives us a different picture, that the symptoms say that the person is not okay. The person says, I've been doing everything, I'm not okay. So here we see there is, like, the truck bringing and offloading the glucose. That is one part. And this test can show us that is it not being offloaded? Forget about the energy production in the factory starting, which is, before the mitochondria. Not to confuse people, there's something in the cell where glucose can make energy if there's a blockage in the mitochondria. So is it so from markers like let us say lactate, it may confuse people, but anyway, lactate, if that is elevated in the organic acid test, that shows that glucose is not entering the mitochondria for energy production efficiently. So okay, if
Right.
lactate was okay, so pyruvate was there, and it's entering, the raw material is entering the factory, the energy production factory. So
Right.
there are around 7-8 steps. So it's giving us a different picture of just utilization of sugar, that is it being utilized properly or not, and in which place there's a bottleneck. So let's say that the factory was working okay. Now the factory has produced the raw material NADH, FADH2 to offload the electrons, which is going to be converted into energy by oxygen, the last stage. And in
Yeah.
the market over here, so everything often comes back to nowadays to social media, everything. So coenzyme Q10 is very popular.
Yes,
Something's become very
it's
popular.
always
The end,
present in, yeah, it's always present on the supermarket shelves. I've
yes.
seen it a
So
lot.
coenzyme Q10, of course, there are two forms. Not many people would not be knowing ubiquinol and ubiquinone. Price difference, but ubiquinol
Mhm.
is the bioactive one, expensive. But that is sold for energy production, right? But that is used in
Yeah.
the last stage, right? In the last
Yeah.
stage. But if
Yeah.
from the test we come to know that offloading is not happening, glucose is not being offloaded into the mitochondria or the energy factory. So
Factories.
what's the so so what's the purpose of just going for coenzyme Q10? Or similarly,
Right.
another favorite of your one, I know it, glutathione, is just one, is a very important thing. Is a very
Yeah.
important thing, but we go in for the end products. No?
Yeah.
So we don't see the whole picture. So we started with the conventional fasting sugar test or HbA1c. And here through the oat test, we are seeing where exactly the problem is. And then we
Yeah.
can educate and empower that person that which nutrients are missing or what could the cause be. It gets a bit more clear, and through lifestyle, through nutrition, through what is lacking,
Right.
what is missing, is the gut something, because gut things get absorbed through the gut, is something wrong there. So we help them like that. We
Yes.
address the
And
root cause.
yeah. So since yes,
Another
I
very
would
thing,
like to
another molecule very popular, NADH. I just said that NADH is the carrier of electrons to make energy. So that's associated with longevity, and people go in for that. But what about the whole process? We miss that out.
for NADH, people are going for NADH.
It is a longevity supplement, very popular and very expensive. Just one molecule, NADH. But will it really
Is a
solve the
high.
problem with the whole process, or where the bottleneck is? We need to know.
Yeah, we
So
need to
we
know
help,
like at first.
we educate and help.
Yeah. But at the first place, we need to know, like, through these tests, like, where the problem is, like, where, path, at what our pathway in our body it is getting blocked. What if we are giving the product, but the thing is, our main pathway is blocked. So then also we are not solving the root problem, right? We need to again
Right.
coming to the question is that like we need to address the root cause. For example, from my own experience, I would like to thank to these kind of technologies exist like oat tests. Like I have done this and I got to know how fascinating is these molecules are coming up and all the metabolites are showing up from the blood and the urine tests and come to know, oh, this is what was happening in my body. And since I have been also analyzing the lots of biological data in my lab, and now I saw how this should be interpreted. This is something really important, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, right.
So there are many such tests,
So,
some very popular in functional medicine. This is one of them. Then we have the gut microbiome test, which tells us about the various strains and its inflammatory markers inside the gut, and the health of the gut lining. So it does help if those things the person sees it. It rules out whether what kind of intervention or lifestyle support the person would need, or what's wrong or not wrong, instead of just guessing. You know,
right, right.
after having gone through the normal treatments which you're already doing and not getting relief there, then.
Right. Yeah. So yes, even I can say that from this thing, why I will vouch for it. Why I am doing it today, because yes, also felt the difference, and I also felt some changes there when I have addressed the root cause of my that part of biochemical assay. And yeah. So coming to the next part, I want to like understand from the conventional perspective. I know you are a functional medicine coach, but from a conventional perspective, so what does these tests mean? Is there deficiency at systemic level if we see numbers are very high or something like that?
Yeah, it points out, it lets us know about our nervous metabolites, neuropeptides, about inflammation, about the metabolism of fats, the carbohydrates, and proteins. Proteins have various roles. One of your favorite roles of protein is RNAs. So it shows all that. It points out that simple, sometimes, let's say there could be in the gut some microbe which are part of our system, but overgrowth has happened there. And these tests show us that maybe if the foundation is not okay, there's no point even going after those microbes first. First, why not make the foundation? Are the nutrients being digested properly? Are they being absorbed properly? Is my liver being supported through this nutrient and lifestyle and doing its detox properly? Is my kidney healthy in regard to, am I having too much greens which produce oxalate maybe, and then we have some issues there. So why not take care of absolute basic things first and let the body
Right.
take care, because the body, the cells, the wisdom is unmatched. No one, and when we really understand this, I'll just give a quick example. This is a wonderful example. I think all problems happen to us when we become too knowledgeable and start interfering too much. I hope you are not doing that sitting
Yes.
in the lab whole day. See,
No, I try to forget the things. I mean, keep it there only. Otherwise, I will also get some disease like I'm working on, degenerative diseases right now. So I don't want to get it. I'm understanding how brain is working. So yeah,
so the wisdom, but maybe the lab won't tell you about the wisdom. See,
that's why I'm talking to you right now.
the red blood cells don't have mitochondria to make energy.
Yes, yes, they don't have.
Why?
They
But they carry the most crucial molecule to make energy, that is oxygen. Red
oxygen,
blood
yes,
cells carry
oxygen.
oxygen, yes, to that is
Yes,
the last
oxygen.
stage. Oxygen is needed in the last stage where energy is actually packed and becomes ready in the electron transport chain after the Krebs cycle.
Yeah,
So they keep space to carry oxygen for our whole body, and they make energy. They need energy also, but they make energy. Only one molecule, that is glucose. People are so much against carbs. Glucose can make energy without oxygen. Right? Fat cells will need oxygen for energy production. Protein also will need oxygen for energy production. Glucose can make energy outside the Krebs cycle in the cell cytoplasm, glycolysis. So the red cell, which is not very efficient, but the red cells do that for us. They make energy without the mitochondria, so there is more space in them to carry oxygen for us. They sacrifice that.
Yeah.
So how
Yeah.
did that happen? Is the wisdom, is wisdom how wisdom works. And they live only for about 3 months, and then more red cells are made. I mean, they recycle 3 months. So this is one example. There are tens of thousands of examples of the wisdom of the cell. So all this I've written in my book. I wrote a book, Awaken Your Healing Trinity, Bridging Science, Spirit, our intuition, and cellular wisdom. We just spoke about cellular wisdom, example of the red blood cells.
Yes, yes, Mr. Anil, that was a marvelous work you have done. I have also read your book. I am
Not
on the
read,
way to
you're
finish it.
reading it very
Yes.
slow.
Yeah, but I'm reading it. And I'm on the way. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's yeah,
So
so
there
far
I've
whatever
explained
I have
about,
read,
hmm,
yeah, it's a
carry on.
marvelous work done. Yeah.
So there I've
Yeah.
explained about functional medicine, and there's one chapter devoted to functional medicine, popular
Yeah.
tests.
Yeah. So anything you want to share about those tests, I would
So
love to hear from
the
you.
very
Yeah.
popular test, very helpful I find to educate people. So they educate themselves and they empower themselves. Food sensitivity tests. There are many in the market, and
Yeah. So what about the tests which are like on Amazon or here and there, like for hair testing? They ask
so there are
for
many in
your
the
hair
market. So that's
sample.
where our role comes in. So earlier times,
Yeah.
the more we learn, the more we can help. So people used to come with these tests, food sensitivity tests, and they would say that I have become sensitive to all my favorite food which I'm eating every day. That's what the report has shown. So what to eat?
Wow.
Because there are around 20, 30 things I eat, and all of them have been flagged sensitive. So now I don't know what to eat. So now it took me quite a few years to understand. So the immunoglobulin, again, your favorite part of your research, immunology. So they were testing, the testing was done by IG4. So IG4 gets
Mm-hmm.
activated when there is exposure to more exposure to certain things. So
Is it
foods
like
which I'm going to eat every
IgG4?
day, IgG4, immunoglobulin
Yeah,
G4, yes. So right.
I see.
So foods which I'm eating every day, I'm exposed, my body is exposed, my IgG4 is exposed more to them, so they get flagged. So now there are
It
tests
means
we
that
learned.
it means that food was not digested properly in the gut and
No, it's
producing
just
as an
what you're
antigen.
exposed to. No, what you're exposed to. It was not sensitive. What you're exposed to. You'll be exposed to those foods which you eat every day. So now the
Of
tests
course,
which now we
but
have
we are not
IgG.
directly.
So now
No,
we
my
are
question is,
having, yeah.
my question is that our, we our food is not directly interacted with bloodstream or I would say the white blood cells like that, to my knowledge. I think our food is processed into the small molecules, and those molecules are get absorbed in the blood to form energy or process any biochemical pathways in the blood in our body. So how one can get to generate immune response out of it? I mean, how the food particles are getting uh, in touch with blood
because
to
because
generate the
because because these immunoglobulins are also present
yeah.
in the gut. Our immune system is
So,
70% is in the gut. So when they are breaking down, they are being picked up. They are being flagged.
but to my understanding, immunoglobulin A is present in the gut. That's a secretory immunoglobulin body.
That is a secretory one, but others are also present.
Yeah.
So to lesser extent, but what happens is the tests now, which help more, are more precise, are measuring IgG 1, 2,
4.
3, 4, A also, and
Mm-hmm.
also when the immune system really becomes reactive to them, it's called the complement. The complement also. So now, when any food is flagged by all of them, then only we say that is really sensitive to it. Not by
If
just
all
one
antibodies are present.
immunoglobulin. Yes, IgG 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
4, or maybe A also, and maybe complacent also part of immune system which goes into overdrive when it is really picking it as a foreign body or as a toxin. So that now really helps, makes it easy for the person who is suffering from food sensitivities to know exactly which ones are really flagged red. Red flagged
Right.
here,
Because
red will be.
I was thinking that if one can get just sensitive to the all foods he's or she is eating, right?
So
And the thing
yeah,
is,
so it was showing sensitivity to all because it just,
so anyone can get this.
because only IgG shows sensitivity to everything, because where there is more exposure, it is just present over there. IgG becomes present. That's it. So, but
Yeah,
in
the
these
first,
tests
yeah.
now, all of them have to be flagged to a certain food. When any food is being flagged by all the immunoglobulins and the fourth part, one of the immune molecules, complacent or something is called. So when that also is flagging it,
Now I have very interesting thought about these tests, like how much they can cover, like how much one test cover. Like, for example, we are going our problems can be related to metabolism, microbiome, immunology. So, how much these tests can cover? So, what is your take on that?
you mean which test, or how, what do you mean?
These tests, like you have been talking about the
Yeah,
functional
so we today we
medicine
spoke about
tests.
three tests which are popular in functional medicine practice. So one of them
Right.
was the organic acid tests, which also picks up gut
Mm-hmm.
microbiome, liver, how well it's functioning, the detox process. The liver is always working wonderful. How the detox process, neuropeptides, the inflammation. So it picks up all those metabolites, gives us an overall picture. Gut tests give a picture inside the gut, mainly what's happening, microbes, inflammation inside the
So,
gut.
so based on the gut map, can we like judge our biochemical pathway, metabolism,
No, that is only
or
about the gut.
any
That's more for the gut.
only about the
Inflammation,
gut?
yeah, inflammation, gut lining integrity, and the microbes of the gut, which are have
Or
become
the
less the
microbes.
good
Okay.
ones, or which have become more. And if there are some
Okay.
pathogenic strains,
So,
really one would be going to the
so,
doctor, hospital.
so all these, like, sorry, since we're doing systemic work on these tests, and these tests are just picking one part of it, like gut map is just for gut map, right? Like the gut microbes.
It picks up the
Nothing, we can't
inflammation in the gut.
interpret.
If someone is having lots of inflammation in the gut, naturally it will already be connected to the body, because the gut's
Right, right.
immune system is systemic. And what is it? The organic acid test gives the overall picture because it picks up the gut status microbes also a little bit, and food intolerance. So one would not waste money because they are all expensive also. So we just guide
Right, right.
what would suit the person's main thing. The person would be knowing the symptoms, they would be knowing, and they want to know more because they're not feeling okay. They've been told they're okay, but they are not
Right.
okay. And then before a test is ordered, one should always check, will it solve the purpose they have come for, or just waste their money? That's also important. But where they really can't
Right.
find any clue and have been trying for many years, these things can come to great help.
Right. So, what are your main key takeaways from your experience on these tests?
Tests are just one part of the whole picture. The main part is the person. The
Okay.
person, we can't just look at papers and numbers and all. The person would be saying what the problem is, their story, their past. Are they carrying anything within them? Their lifestyle? Are they living healthy? Are they eating poor? Are they not sleeping well? All these things already play a picture if you have to help them. When these things are not in
Absolutely.
place and then the person is trying, then the tests come into play. It's overall holistic, everything is taken into account. So
Right,
yeah,
right,
when
right.
people can't, that's where my role comes in. I help them, I guide them, I do even do one-to-one coaching, and we guide them, we show them, educate them, show them what's available, what's possible, and they decide. It's their choice. And if they are carrying on any
Right.
treatment, that carries on. That's not my role there. That's not my role. That carries on
Exactly.
with the system or doctor or whatever it is. That's on.
Yes,
We're just
you
supporting.
help
We're
them
just supporting,
understand.
helping them with their lifestyle, help them eat healthy, help them sleep, be free of reels.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep themselves happy. So everything plays a role here.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. So I think we are done for today. So this is all we have to talk about conventional testing and the functional medicine testing. And these are your takeaways since since Mr. Anil has told that person has to choose. It's not us. We will suggest something to anyone. It's you now. It's now your turn from this podcast how you can feel about your body to take lead. Like you, how would you like to lead your body basically? So it's your call now. Yeah.
Yes, I love
So we'll
researching
see.
and science. I
Yeah.
love science, researching. I believe in the intuition, the spirit, and the cellular wisdom. We give examples today. And for people who are very busy, I have no time to listen. I wrote the book. It's all written there, also with my
Mhm.
personal experience, stories. And one can go online and just put in the name of the book. And nowadays, everything is online. You can come to know from where to get it. And it has, I have audible books also. So people who don't have time to read also just want to
Right.
walk and listen. That's also possible.
Yeah, if you want to like go ahead and like read further and understand more the perspectives of Mr. Anil, you have all type of books, paperback, audiobook, and Kindle, I think it's there. Yes, so yeah. So it's good.
You don't have to
I
think. You are reading the
think
Kindle.
yeah, of course I'm reading the Kindle.
So why are you
I was
thinking
about
about
to
it?
say that. Yeah. So yes. Okay. For me, I think means
Okay.
I think I believe. I mean I'm doing it. So it's okay. So yeah. Okay, so yeah. Next time we will come to with some new interesting topics on our health and metabolism. And stay tuned. Bye bye. Have a good
Okay. Thank you
fun
very much,
time.
everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mridula.
Yeah.
Okay.